Holy sh! We are currently experiencing technical. We were right. So, there have been a few new teasers and updates released by the Hogwarts Legacy team, and it's big news for us game geeks and Harry Potter fans alike. And I can honestly say watching this was both shocking and exciting on multiple levels. But most exciting of all is the fact that we were right. In a few previous videos, I discussed how there were a few leaks including certain pre-order purchase bonuses, including cosmetics, early access, among other things. This also confirmed how digital-only buyers would get exclusive bonuses not available through other methods of purchase. Heck, guys, the Magic Wand with Book, still the best title ever, is included with the grossly overpriced collector's edition, and it is exactly what I predicted it to be, a floating wand over a spellbook. We also see the steelbook case that was mentioned as part of that earlier leak. Man, game geeks, we are on fire. Anyways, that's actually not what I want to focus on for this video. What I do want to talk about is the new reveal video, Sebastian Sallow's Dark Legacy. Up until this point, I and many others have felt like Hogwarts Legacy was just going to be a magical adventure in the Harry Potter universe, where you could run around in open world Hogwarts. Choosing to learn the dark arts would be more of a fun side quest than an actual main feature. This trailer, however, blew that theory out of the water. This trailer really showed us how far the developers could lean into the dark arts aspects of the game, and that the game could have a much more sinister tone than we originally anticipated. I also want to go into the role Sebastian Sallow will play in this game and his surprising backstory. And not just that, but the fact that he might actually be the Heir of Slytherin. Or maybe it's someone else. We'll talk about all this today and more here on Game Geek. Alright, in case you missed the new clip, it starts off mentioning that our player character and Sebastian Sallow are investigating the history of Salazar Slytherin and the unforgivable curses. They are warned by an unnamed middle-aged man that the dark arts are dangerous. We see Acromantula, Inferi, and another troll. A few more scenes of combat, monsters, angry old guy, and cut to logo. New release date, and the pre-order bonuses I mentioned earlier. Whew. Even in the just under 2 minutes of footage, there's actually a lot we can learn from it. Right from the beginning, there's several things that stand out. Sebastian says right out of the gate, the more we know about Salazar Slytherin and the dark arts, the better prepared we'll be. Now, this gives us a lot of insight to where the story could go. Could we potentially get into the Chamber of Secrets? Will there be more dark arts magic, or will it just be the 3 unforgivable curses? Will we learn more about the history of all of the founders, not just Salazar? All of those questions will have to wait to be answered, but let's speculate about what this could potentially mean for our interactions with the other students. We know already that there will be other companions we can interact with. So far, we have seen Nutsai Onai from Gryffindor, Poppy Sweeting from Hufflepuff, and of course, Slytherin's Sebastian Sallow. I expect there will be a Ravenclaw companion as well, but we haven't seen them. However, going back to my point, let's consider this. If Sebastian has a storyline tied to Salazar Slytherin, could there possibly be a chance that we learn more about each of the founders from a student of their house? I really feel like this would flesh out the wizarding world for fans while creating really engaging storylines that would keep us on the edge of our seats. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments. I usually try and engage with all of you as much as I can, and I love hearing your theories. And while you're down there, make sure to subscribe. I'm 3/4 of the way to 1,000 subscribers, and I can't make it there without your help. So thanks for everything. You are awesome. But alright, let's get back on topic. The next part I want to point out is also right at the beginning, the mention of unforgivable curses. Now, we already know that they were going to be included, with the killing curse of Avada Kedavra being showcased in the State of Play trailer. However, there are a few more interesting points here. Also mentioned in the State of Play trailer is that we can learn certain spells from certain companions. And in this Dark Legacy footage, we see that learning Crucio seems to be story-driven, meaning that we may be limited in our spell repertoire based on our choices in the game. That may sound kind of obvious, but it could reinforce that we will be faced with the choice of using exclusively ancient magic or dark magic, for example, and not being able to learn all the spells in a single playthrough. Now, this is completely speculation, but this could mean in order to unlock every secret passage and hidden achievement, it may require multiple playthroughs. Now, I'm all for that because I'm an achievement addict, but I could see how that might not sit well with every type of player, so we'll have to see how that all plays out. But the third thing I want to mention is about the 3-second clip right here. Alright, one more time. There. This is very, very interesting to me because we have seen locks like this before in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, namely in the Chamber of Secrets itself. When Harry opens the chamber from the girls' bathroom and when he enters the basilisk chamber, he uses Parcel Mouth. Parcel Mouth is the ability for humans to communicate with snakes, and even among wizards, it's extremely rare. Only a handful of wizarding families possessing the talent. The ones we know of, namely, are the descendants of Salazar Slytherin. If Sebastian Sallow is an heir of Slytherin like it's implied in the trailer, that will make sense. I'm totally on board with that. However, what's weird is that Sebastian isn't the one standing in front of the door. We are. If that's truly the case, could we potentially have the gift of speaking with snakes? It's definitely an odd detail, but could have some major implications for how our story plays out, including increasing the odds that we may be able to open the infamous Chamber of Secrets ourselves. I could also see how that plays into a storyline where Sebastian thinks he's an heir, but it's truly our character, and that could pull a whole new plot twist on the whole situation. But again, totally speculation. I'm just having a blast theorizing about it. Okay, another blink and you miss it moment is right here.
I'm ready. Crucio!
This shows us that our player character is going to be fully voiced. Okay, we've seen our player talk in the State of Play trailer, but never actually heard them speak. We just see their lips move. This new trailer shows us that we will have a speaking character, not a mute, agreeable protagonist like many games. This isn't incredibly groundbreaking, especially in a game that requires us to speak to cast magic, and we have heard our player cast spells, but I thought it was an interesting detail to include. The only major implication that I could see is that since they took time to prepare speaking lines, presumably for both male and female roles, it could mean that the story could be fairly linear, but if it's not, that could speak to how absolutely massive this game has potential to be. Okay, let's jump back to the other character that has a speaking role and is the focus of the 2-minute showcase, Sebastian Sallow. Not much is known about him, other than we have actually seen him before in the State of Play trailer, where it was mentioned that he has a troubled background, and is caught by Peeves and the librarian in the restricted section, obviously trying to learn more about the dark arts. Very interesting. We've also seen this guy in the State of Play trailer too, where he mentions to Sebastian that shrivelfigs cannot reverse curses, and specifically says nothing can, after the narrator mentions they have a troubling family secret. This could imply that this is Sebastian's father, or at the very least a close relative or family friend. Sebastian also says this in the most recent footage: a spell that could save your life shouldn't be unforgivable, which does give us some insight into his mentality and motivations for learning unforgivable curses, even Crucio. I found that line the most interesting part of the entire video, to be honest. What do you think about it? Let me know down below. But anyway, another quick fact that I thought was interesting is that he shares a last name with Albert Sallow, who, without getting into too many details, is a wizard who works as an unspeakable in the 2010s and 20s as part of the Harry Potter Wizards Unite game. Names are really coincidental in Harry Potter, so I thought it was a little fun factoid to include. If you think I missed anything in the trailer, just let me know. Check out this previous video where I talk about the leak I mentioned earlier, and I'll see you in the next one.